Komal cooks lasagna. For the pasta sheets, we have some maida here. I'm using 2 cups of maida. You can also use atta if you're very healthy. Then I'm going to add a little bit of salt for taste. And I'm using Figaro olive oil. This has an amazing taste, and we're going to be putting that in the maida. We're going to use a lot of this, so please don't put it away. After you've put the oil in the flour, make sure that you crumble the bits that have the oil very well. This has to be done in a very nice way. Adding more oil, just make sure that all of the flour is very smooth. We're looking for something like this. It should come together when you are using your hand, and then it should break apart like so. Then we're going to add a little bit of water. Make sure you don't use a lot of water at a go, because we would be making a dough out of this. We should end up with a dough that looks like this, and it's always nice to knead the dough a little bit more than you possibly can. I know your arms will hurt, but just keep kneading. We should have a dough that's squishy like this, okay? We want squishy. We're gonna let this rest for half an hour. After which, we are going to be making the bechamel sauce. So we're going to take a little bit of butter in a very thick bottom pan. Make sure that the heat is very low, because we are not going to burn this butter. We're just going to melt it. Then we're going to add a little bit of maida in that butter. We are essentially going to be cooking this maida in the butter so that it doesn't have that weird maida taste to it, essentially. So it will start changing its color. It will go from a yellow to a whitish color like this, and when it starts to bubble, we're gonna keep on putting a little bit of milk at a time, and then we're just gonna drown it with all the milk that we have. We're gonna let this cook for about 10 to 15 minutes and make sure that you stir it every single minute. After that, add some salt. I'm going to add a bay leaf plus a clove. You can also put an onion in there. I don't like that, so I don't do that. And just keep stirring. Then we're going to prepare the fake ragu. We're going to take the soya granules by Nutrela. You can use any other brand. I'm going to take some hot boiling water, and I'm going to put 2 cups of the Nutrela. I'm going to let this boil. This Nutrela would be done in about 15 to 20 minutes. So you want to make sure that you take it out, drain out all the water that you possibly can, and then add it to the fake ragu that we're going to be making. By this time, your bechamel sauce should be done. It shouldn't be very thick, but it shouldn't be extremely liquidy either. This is the consistency that we're looking for. Once that is done, you're just going to pour it into a vessel that you like. We're going to let this cool down, and it will thicken when it cools down. Then I'm going to super chop my vegetables. I'm chopping some capsicum plus beans. I like to cook my vegetables a little bit before I put them in the sauce, but you don't have to. Then I'm going to take a little bit of oil, add some garlic to it. Make sure that you do not brown this garlic. This garlic has to stay this color exactly. And then we're going to add some tomato puree. It could be fresh or it could be from the can. Adding some salt to it. I'm just going to stir it around. This sauce will start to cook and it will change color, after which we are going to add this is a very good seasoning, okay? You need to get this. This has every single thing that you want in a seasoning. So I'm going to add this plus the vegetables, the boiled nutrela, and then I'm just going to stir it around. Make sure that it mixes completely. Now you have to keep this on the flame and you have to cook it until all the water dries up and you are left with the consistency of ragu, which, well, we're making fake ragu anyways. So yeah. Then we're going to take any vessel that you want to cook the lasagna in. I'm taking this squarish metal pan. Take a little bit of the dough out. And depending on the thing that you're going to cook the lasagna in, you have to first squish it in your hands, the dough I mean, and then you have to kind of roll out the dough as the shape of the thing that you're making the lasagna in. Mine is a square. You can also use your hands, by the way, if you want to, and if you are very old school like me. Then the first layer of ragu goes in. When that is completely done, you're going to put one layer of the bechamel sauce. Ideally, the sauces should be cooled down before you apply it, but I didn't have time. Then we're going to go ahead with one layer of the pasta. You can poke each layer of the pasta if you want to. I do that, plus I poke it afterwards when I'm done assembling the whole thing. Do this up until you have completely filled the thing that you're cooking the lasagna in. The last layer ideally should be the bechamel sauce, after which I'm going to poke this whole lasagna before I put it. So I've taken this gas top cooker that I have and I warmed it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Then I'm going to place the lasagna on top of this and I'm going to cover it. I'm going to be cooking this for 45 minutes. I've also made another one in a bowl that's going to go in the microwave. So you can do it both ways. And I'm going to be cooking this as well for 45 minutes in a combination setting. So this is what it will look like. Halfway through it will bubble up all of the liquid. And this liquid will dry out eventually, so don't worry about it. And this is what it looks like after 45 minutes. Now is the time that we're going to add some cheese if we want to. And cover it up yet again so that it cooks completely and it has that lovely crispy thing on top. And this is what the finished lasagna looks like. Now you have to let the lasagna sit for about an hour before you serve it. But my friend came in, so I had to serve it as I made it. And this is the slow money shot of me cutting the lasagna. My friend liked to put a little bit of sauce on top of it and she really liked it, which is good because I made it specially for her. If you let your lasagna sit in, it would look like this. It's very beautiful. Each layer looks separate and I really like it. This lasagna is very soft and it's extremely tasty. And I hope this video is useful for you. If you do end up doing this, please share it with me on Instagram or any social media. That's it. Bye.